United States has the best women's soccer team in the world, as evidenced by our recent Women's World Cup win. But we're told that the women's team still faces blatant sexism and a pay gap compared to our men's team this year. That's what woke feminists like USWNT captain Megan Rapinoe keep telling us. In fact, the women's team has even filed a lawsuit against U.S. Soccer alleging gender-based pay discrimination. I've already made the argument against equal pay and explained why Rapinoe is far from a good role model. But a new open letter and fact sheet released by U.S. Soccer completely refutes the equal pay crusaders' argument. My letter and fact sheet to our soccer community about the USWNT lawsuit. We're committed to doing right by our women's players. And I'm optimistic we can get this done. https://5bzv4krfdm 1/2 pic.twitter.com/guyanf1z7c Carlos Cordero, at CAC Soccer, July 29, 2019. First, it reveals that while U.S. Soccer is the target of the USWNT's equal pay lawsuit, they're not even the ones paying the men and women unequally. According to U.S. Soccer President Carlos Cordero, they actually pay the women more than the men. He writes, "Over the past decade, U.S. Soccer has paid our women's national team more than our men's national team this year from 2010. Through 2018, U.S. Soccer paid our women $34.1 million in salaries and game bonuses, and we paid our men $26.40 million, not counting the significant additional value of various benefits that our women's players receive, but which our men do not. How's that for sexist?" Cordero explains that this pay gap, in favor of the women, is due to different pay structures the men and women have negotiated, as the women's team is given an annual salary and benefits while the men are paid more sporadically, proportional to participation. This disparity is necessary because the men have more professional soccer opportunities outside of international competition, such as the leagues in Europe and a Major League Soccer. National soccer is a side gig for them, not a full-time job. Now, it is true that the Men's World Cup offers significantly higher prize money, and that when prize money is counted, the men received $41 million from 2010 to 2018 and the women received just $39.7 million, despite vastly outperforming the men relative to their own competition. And more generally, the winning team in the last Men's World Cup received $38 million in prize money, while the winners of this year's Women's World Cup get a relatively modest $4 million. But this is up to the International Federation of Association Football, not U.S. Soccer, which means the equal pay lawsuit hasn't even been filed against the right entity. Moreover, the differential in prize money offered by FIFA is explained by differences in revenue generation and viewership, not sexism this year. As I wrote before, almost half the world watched the men's 2018 World Cup, with nearly 3.6 billion total viewers tuning in to watch some part of the tournament. The final match alone reached an audience of over 1.1 billion people. Subsequently, the tournament's sponsor, FIFA, brought in a profit of over $6 billion. The women's team garners significant but substantially lower viewership. We don't have data for the 2019 tournament, but during the women's last World Cup in 2015, 764 million viewers tuned in for some portion of the tournament. This is quite good, but it still pales in comparison to the men's tournament's audience. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to Tom Snout. Have a nice day.